Hi, good day. This is Marcus Alexander and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to implement Google Captcha version 2 on my registration page. Maybe I'll do another video with version 3 sometime. Now, I'm actually remaking this video because the first one was about 5 minutes longer than expected. Had some minor issues, but that's the goal is hopefully this video will be 10 minutes. Let's get started. You most likely need a Gmail or Google account to do this, and this is the goal. My registration page, yes, it looks ugly, but I just want this captcha, which is the check I'm not a robot checkbox. All right, and so I'll provide the links. We need to open this admin console. Right click and open a new tab. I'll come back to this shortly. Let's go to the learn more, where Google will provide the documentation on how to use this captcha. Let me go to my actual site I plan to use, which is this. All right, so I want the version 2 checkbox. It's up to you to do some reading, but I'll just break things down as quickly as possible. Basically, Google provided an example here. It said, hey, you need a script. Let's copy and paste it. In my header, forget all those stuff. I'm going to put mine just before the end of the head tag. I'll put a little comment to remind me that this is for Google Captcha, not necessary. And they say, hey, to get the checkbox, you simply need to copy and paste this link alone. But the script, well, tag, my apologies. So I want mine just before the registration button. So I'm going to paste this. Yeah. Save. So I got the look, but it says some invalid site key. No problem. So where do we get our site key? Well, back to the admin console. We need to create a let's call it an account, but it's not really that, but let's do that. I'm going to create one. I'm going to call it hotel. You can call it anything you want. Hotel booking video. I'm going to comment version 2 because, like I said, this video is a remake. I'm going to use Captcha version 2. I want to use the I'm not a robot checkbox. The domain in this case is localhost, and I accept the terms of services, and I don't need to send alerts to the owner, which is me, and that's it. It's going to give me a side key and a secret key. Now, although this video is for your purpose, but the truth is your side key should not, sorry, your secret key should not be shared or visible to anyone, all right? I need this side key, so I'm going to click this. I'm going to paste this right here. Save. Make sure and save your head as well. I reload this page. And so far, this is working. Perfect. If by chance you came onto this page, I'll just show you Google Captcha. Go back to the main page, admin console, and you see like the one you created here. Like I said, I just created version 2, and I go to settings, and you can get back the side keys if you want, or the side key and secret key. So following the documentation, once again you need to read this on your own, but I'm just doing it quickly for you. This is if you want to do it with JavaScript, which we'll not be doing. I want to pull the information in the backend now. I want to know if the person clicked the button. The documentation is basically saying, hey, to know if the person clicked the button or not, you're going to say post, and this is the information you're going to pull. Now, quick explanation. Google is simply saying, hey, you want us to verify that the person is not a robot? Well, use this link and add these information to the links. Add a secret, add the word secret and tell me what's the secret key. Add the word response and tell me what's the response, and add the word remote IP and then tell me the IP address. So let's do that. I'm going to the top where I check to see if a button was clicked. Let's create some variables. URL, secret. You can call it secret key if you want. It's up to you. These are made up words. Response. And remote IP is optional. So here's the link. The secret key is from here. You can't use, like I said, you shouldn't be using mine, all right? The response, Google said, hey, to get the response, you're going to say post, and this is the word you're going to try to look for. And the remote IP, this is optional, but we can say server remote ADDR, and I got the remote IP. So Google is basically saying, hey, add all this information to this link, just like how we did it in the get videos. Remember something like details.php, I add a word ID equals a number, and word equals to, name equals to Marcus, and age equals to like 21 or something like that. Basically, we're going to do that here. So, but PHP needs to pull that information from the links. We're going to use file get contents, and we're going to give it the URL in here. And then I'm going to add some information to the URL. I'm going to say add the word secret, and now the secret is equal to this variable here. And add the word response, because that's what Google is looking for. You need to add those words. Add these words and then give it the information. The response is stored under this variable. Once again, you can rename your variables, right? And the remote IP is equal to this variable here. Yes, I'm using the same words over and over. Oops, sorry. Right. So file get contents basically gets a file from a certain location. The location is not on our machine, it's actually through this link. When I get back the information, let's call it details. Alright, so get some information from this link and store it on this word, and let's see what happens. Echo details. Let's test this. By the way, a quick note, on any page where you insert information over and over, to avoid inserting stuff by mistake, we're going to put a valid query here. I do have a table called users. So what's going to happen, this is my insert query, but I override it with our next valid query. It's going to run as if the page works, but the truth is it's actually not inserting anything in the database, right? So when you're testing certain pages, please use this. Let's make this happen now. So I'm going to click this, just testing here, and submit, and this is the information the server gives me back, just as they mentioned here. Now this, we need to put this information in a better readable format for PHP. So I'm going to say I make up a next variable, details info is equal to JSON decode. Basically this says, hey, take some information from a server and put it in readable format for PHP. If you want, you could, or actually you should be reading up on it on your own. PHP JSON decode, PHP manual, but like I said, it's kind of confusing for some of y'all. But this basically says, hey, take data from the web server and display it in our web page. So Google says, hey, to check to see if everything went well, you're looking for success. And since this is our object, we're going to say if details info, and this is how we do it, dash arrow. If it's equal to success, then validation, or let's say validated. I'm just making this up while it's testing. Echo, oops. Yep. Echo not validated. This is just for testing, right? So once again, there's a link. Here's the secret key, your response, your remote IP. I'm adding all this information to this link here, and this is going to give me whatever information I get back from the link, store it under details. The information I get back is a bunch of information together. I need to put it in something readable or something usable in PHP, so I use JSON decode, and this is how we check for the success. Dash and the arrow success, and if it works, let's see. So I refresh my page, click this. By the way, what happened in my last video, because maybe there's a lot of people in the house that's using the tablets or the phones or maybe streaming movies, and Google detect high usage, it may prompt me by asking me to select photos. You remember that it will say, hey, select all the bus in the images, select all the bus images, select all the traffic lights, and it kept doing it over and over, and the video ended up becoming 15 minutes long, so sorry about that. Alright, so let's test this. There we go, validated. Let's not click it. Not validated. All right, so that's all we need. Let's put our codes in place now. Now keep in mind you don't want to lose track of your brackets, right? This is the last one I need. This is the entire if statement here, so be very careful. So I want all this. If your registration went well, then all this, you need to be very careful with your brackets. I'm stressing this point here. We'll go here. So only once the validation is good, then you can register. If not, it will say not validated. Or of course you put a meaningful message, right? Watch a video on notifications to see how to display something in a meaningful way rather than this stupid text we're doing here. This is bad. Alright, this for testing. So anyway, so that's really it. Let's test this one more time. Remember, nothing's actually being registered on my page. Huh? It doesn't matter what I type here. I click. Yep, submit, and it works. So that's it for this video. I hope that was less than 10 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes for the most. Remember, please do some reading. It's actually not that difficult. I will try to do a Captcha version 3 sometime, but it's pretty much the same thing. Do some research on validation, do some research on Google Captcha, why we do these things, why secure yourself against bots, and so on. Do a quick research on JSON. PHP is not that complicated, and that's it for this video. Take care.